Hello and welcome to this edition of the Evening Review. My name is Tewenja Bella, the host for tonight's show. Let's have a look at today's front page of Namibian Sun. On tonight's show, we are joined by the outgoing Councillor of Okahandja Constituency, Steve Biko Booys, to talk to us, among others, why he took the bold decision of not standing again in this election. Welcome to the Evening Review, Honorable Councillor.
Yes, good day, Mr. Tuivo. It is a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. You defied a lot of odds. What led to that very unusual decision in Namibian politics?
You're heading the code up. Actually, I have a favorite code that I'm using these days.
Yeah.
A good dancer know when to leave the stage.
Sure.
So, in fact, that is far more that.
Indeed, Councillor. And I saw a couple of weeks ago, very recently, there was a report, social media sort of breaking news, if you like, by Eagle FM, if I'm not mistaken, and they were saying that you were not, I think they were reporting on the outcome of a district election that took place in Okahandja for aspiring candidates, and they were saying that you lost. Did you avail yourself in that election and you just didn't make it, or you didn't participate at all?
Yeah. I did not participate in elections. I think the biggest issue is ever since 2015, when I was seeking for this term that is about to conclude,
Yeah.
I have made it known to my community. I've even publicly said it during my campaigns that this will be my last term that I'll stand. So everything starts from there. And the principle that I was referring to earlier. But then when the process has started, I have already made it clear to my leadership that I'm not contesting. During the submissions, because during the process of primaries, Swapo Party requests all its candidates or all those who have intentions to stand to submit their CVs. I did not submit my CV because I had no intentions to stand. And that CVs are going through a rigorous process of vetting, and unless you have been vetted, then you can stand as a candidate for Swapo Party. So I did not submit my documentations for vetting as well. Further on, I have also directly communicated to the headquarters, informing them of my intentions not to stand. That was now as late as Friday, the Friday before the district conference would take place on Sunday. On that particular Friday also, I had a public engagement where our line minister was also present.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually announced, it was on Thursday.
Yeah.
On Thursday, at my event for handing over small stock and so on to the community of Rudenau, I publicly announced to say, no, I will not be available for standing. I think Namibian Sun have covered it adequately.
Yes, we did. We did. Yes, I remember the
Yeah.
story. So, is it truly and genuinely a case of a good dancer opting to leave the stage, or did Councillor Booys knew and felt that he stood no chance to be re-elected, and he just wanted to bow out with a bit of honor, or is it really a case of a councillor saying, "Look, I've done my part. I'm going"?
You know, my intentions. You know, I've studied a bit of law, and where, in terms of law, it asks the question: what is the intent? Now, all my actions and all my reactions to different processes have indicated that I'm not standing and that I'm honorably exiting. So the process that happened, that is being used to say that I got 0 votes, I was not participating. How do I get 0 votes if I do not participate? If I was not even vetted, meaning after vetting, the party, Swabo Party, releases its list. So it did not have my documents to vet. The political bureau on its sitting, when they were making endorsements or those that are standing, they have taken note, they were informed, and they have taken note that I'm not available to stand. So I think it is regrettable that the nation would be misinformed in that way.
Yeah.
And I think they should just do the honorable thing, and maybe those who have put out that information retract that information, because it's quite.
Indeed, because we were wondering why is a 0 vote if the councillor could also vote for himself. It means that he voted for someone else other than himself.
You know,
But no, it's
yeah,
okay. You don't have to comment on that one.
I, I, yeah,
Just moving on other things. I remember very well. I think it was in 2010 when you became a councillor there. I was a young reporter myself that time, and we flocked to Okahandja to witness, to cover that entire process, and you won. I think it was a coalition of opposition parties that congregated to sort of put up a fight against you, and people put faith in you at the time by giving you the mandate to lead. What are the memorable and most exciting things that you think you have done for
yeah. No, thank you again, Mr. Twibo. Well, it's like yesterday. You know, time goes by really fast. But it was in fact 2009 when I first
Yeah,
participated. I
okay,
think,
yeah.
I was barely 31 years or 30 years old by the time I participated. Well, the road was long, quite exciting. You know, there are a number of events that I can recall, but I think, we don't have the whole day, because 11 years of service, we could write a complete encyclopedia, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, I think part of the things is, when I went into office, I was not quite certain. It's a new environment. I was coming from the local authority background, where I was dealing with revenue control and such. But then I actually took it on quite well. The first thing that I started off with, because I have a strong backing from the young people, I started focusing with the younger generation, because it was more comfortable for me. I could communicate to them, and they could communicate to me easier, because they were my peers. But the thing which really stood out for me is how the elderly people actually embraced me. They more saw me maybe easily accessible, because I
Yeah.
was so young, and they could confide in me. I had really run the first project I started off, I remember, was a brick making project, where I was making bricks for ECD, early childhood development centers. of which one of them is at the Elson church. You know, it is still standing up to now. 2 classrooms were built through this exercise, and of course, the other one, which I also sponsored with the bricks, they later on put up a different structure because they were unable to build. But that was my first program where I organized the young people and the youth. Jointly, we were making bricks and so on. They learned valuable skills. Other than that, I was continuously involved in elder programs. You know, the pensioners were organizing themselves as groups, touring around the country, but engaging each other on developmental issues, where some of them have, you know, later on, Korika's town council and some of the town councils ended up writing off the debts for the elderly people. The elderly people also, started negotiating in places like City of Windhoek and others for discounted prices, you know. So I have been fully and actively involved in that program with the elderly people. But then throughout the years, there were quite a lot of highlights. Maybe one of the major capital projects that I took on then was I look at Okahandja. What can it offer? Okahandja by then had the EPZ status. It was centrally located. You had areas like Cross Barman. Cross Barman, you know, what it was making was quite minimal and it was in a very bad state. You had from Bach, it was in quite a bad state. And I look at it and I say, okay, how can Okahandja define itself? What can Okahandja do? Fine, a tourist hub, a tourist center, because of its central location. Easily, whichever tourist that is passing through can maybe spend a day or two, and for them to, you know, contribute to the economic activity. Um, I have then engaged NWR and the then minister, uh, and we went into taking on Cross Barman. I mean, you can see what Cross Barman has become. I think it's one of the international resorts right now. The status that it has now, the facilities that it can offer, you know, the environment. I think equally you can see von Bach, you know, the joint venture of Tongeni them, you know, I was instrumental in it. In fact, with Cross Barman, it even opened a wider opportunity for the rural youth. You know, there is that rural area, Rudenau. It's like 5 kilometers out of Cross Barman. On the western side, I went into negotiations with them because I know that community was socio-economically broken. And I had to negotiate with them and say, majority of those or all of the labor, the basic labor that you need to absorb, it needs to come from that community. So in fact, that's what happened. And the idea is to train the young people to utilize those funds that they are getting to reinvest in their animal, you know, in their livestock, so they can start, you know, with meaningful economic activity to keep them busy or to uplift them from obscure poverty. Now, you know, that's in terms of tourism. The question of, you know, Okahandja is a historic town, the graveyard sites, and so on. Yes, I have been trying throughout the years. Some way, somehow, we fail to add value. You know, and I think it might be one of my successor will really look into it. We need to add value to this component, the historical grave sites that are here. Most of the, you know, early here. And we have tourists coming in, taking, you know, videos, capturing photos and so on, but it does not really result into beneficiation or benefit of the local community. So that is in terms of, I'm just taking a bit of rounded up because, you know, we cannot go, you know, that much deep into details. In terms of industrial development, you know, I really look at, or let's say, economic activity in general. I have noticed that Okahandja was a dying town. You know, everybody was moving out. By then, MKU and some of these main players, which were having factories, they were moving out of the town. You know, I tried talking to some of the guys like ShopRite and so on, so that they can come and open up a shop.
Yeah.
By then it was only Spy. They were playing Monopoly with 2 or 3 Portuguese markets. You know, sometimes you didn't get fresh products there. So there were a number of other challenges. Young people were unemployed. You know, most of them were running out of town. I don't say all of them are employed now, but alternatively, you can see that guys like Sab Millers and so on have came aboard. But that was created out of an exercise. I always reflect back and call it artificial growth of Okahandja. Why I call it artificial is I sat down and applied my mind. You know, early in 2009, most of the people, companies I'm approaching, they are saying there is not enough traffic. The population is too small. And they cannot come to Okahandja in a justified way because they will not have enough customers. So I asked myself, but what should be done then? I approached the then city of Windhoek Council because I saw on news, you know, back then, that Windhoek had a problem with housing. By then they have ran out of the, you know, land for housing purposes, and they were desperately looking for people, farmers, to buy land from. So I talked to, I remember the former deputy mayor, and I spoke to him, and I said, but comrade, can you set up for me a meeting? I want to come and talk to you guys. I have a proposition. And my proposition is I'll talk to the local authority of Okahandja for them to avail land, you know, to developers and such.
Yeah.
And you guys can then bring your people, you know, you can refer them to us, and we can give them cheap land. Your prices of land is anyway higher, but let alone that you don't have anywhere to go. So
Yes. Yes.
that happened. So meeting was set up, we had engagements, and there were a number of issues that we have agreed for that to be able to happen in order for us to expand the populace of Okahandja. Is the last result of the work of a group. We have been a team. You know, Okahandja was not rosy all the time. But looking back now, the contributions that each and every local authority council that I've served, which is around about 3, served under my 3 terms, let me put it that way, because the other one was half. You know, I came in through by-elections. But the local authorities that have served under my last 3 terms, they have really brought a lot on table. In terms of the provision of land, it is the local authority that provides land. In terms of, for instance, when I was talking the servicing, through the TPEC program, I have approached the office of the then Minister, Okahandja, and I might also reflect back sometime and say that the young man had me under a lot of stress because I said, Minister, I'm not leaving your office until you tell me how we can service Okahandja, in particular Favran and the Oshetus, you know, and they can put in the request for me through the TPEC funding, and we have serviced Oshetu 1, 2, 3, and Favran as we are talking now. There's the switch lines that are laying. The main place that we're implementing was the local authority. So it was more a effort. So heading to the question that you have asked.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Now, but as we head for the elections again for local authorities and the regional council elections next month, how can you sum up for me, Honorable Councillor, what the key functions of a councillor are, because of a regional councillor are, because there seems to be a lot of confusion among us, the voters, to say how do we measure what has been the success of a councillor? What yardsticks must we use to say, yes, they did their job or not?
Yeah, you see, especially with us, we have urban. It's quite. While I say those with only rural areas,
Yeah.
we have rural areas purely. Their responsibility is to provide both the regions, which is to do with mostly government services, which has to do with government services for the people. Additional to that, they have to perform authority functions. Local authority functions, it's sewage in the town, rubbish control, provision of it, they stand and availing it for the populace to be able to servicing of internal roads,
Yeah.
and many other provision of fire, is mentioned. But then, on the other hand, the regional council are then in an urban setting. The local authority takes over the local authority functions. The regional councillor is expected governmental services. Now, when I'm saying governmental services, I mean he deals with Ministry of Education, all the other different government departments that are there. In an urban setting, the local authority has to provide municipal services. People go and pay rates and taxes and all these other issues with them. Now, the regional council deals urban setting with, should I say, the planning, the development areas that is laying next to the town, like the settlements. When you look at Rudenau, for instance, in my case, I have provided sanitation in Rudenau, whereas I have provided toilets. The other day during that function, I said 95% of the rural inhabitants in the Rudenau area, they are having sanitation facilities.
Yes.
They are having water. So I cannot provide that, or it's not my mandate to provide that in Okahandja town, but it's a mandate of mine to provide it in the wider constituencies, or in the wider constituency. So it's quite a thin line. It's quite a thin line, but then it's clear the mandates. More than that, it's for us to collaborate. We need to collaborate. I have highlighted some of the areas where we have collaborated with the local authority of Okahandja, because the young people say when one shines, the other one shines.
Yeah, indeed.
So
the phone, the communication is a bit. I'm not sure if that is how the recording will come out. I hope not. But the final question to you, Councillor, is not the final question, but it's the second last one. How much of squabbling in Okahandja region? How much time of your how do I put it? How much of your official time was taken up by that squabbling? You were suspended even last year with the then governor and others. So there's been how much distraction was it for you to do your work?
We are political animals. I have, for instance, together, I have served SWAPO for the last. Now, before I even became a councillor, I was in the leadership of SWAPO party. I also became a councillor by virtue of the roles that I used to play in the party. Now, I had to live a number of different lives at the same time. meaning being the leader of the constituency, the government leader of the constituency, providing the services to all my inhabitants to the best of my ability, while at the same time I have the responsibility towards the party which I represent. So participating fully in the political activity, including the referred squabbles. Now, none of them really, and the other one additional is to being a father. So being a father never hindered me to be the leader. So equally, I believe my political participation within SWAPO was of any hindrance, or it caused any hindrance to the development agenda that was there. And that's one of the greatest attributes a leader should have. He should know when to act in which capacity.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
The final question then, Councillor, is where to for Steve Biko Booys from now? I mean, giving up the possibility of being retained as councillor. What is up your sleeves?
You know, we have spoken on the issue of me giving me not. I should say, knowing that I'm one of the most popular candidates still in my community, to let go of it. It's a thing that really, I don't know, I pride myself. I've even outdone myself, you know. I should say, first, it's the greatest milestone, except for availing myself as a candidate. Having mentioned that, I would say, where to from here on? I wouldn't say exactly how old I am, but I'm reasonably young. I'm reasonably young, so there's quite a big future for me. I don't also say that I'm letting go of politics. I'm saying I'm relinquishing my mandate to serve on a political office as a regional councillor. I became a section secretary for SWAPO. I might become a regional coordinator. But what lays obviously in front of me is I would enter the economic circle. The battle is now the economic battle. And I believe that's what guided me the most of it all. Currently, Namibia does not really need politicians that can sit on tables and make laws. We need people that can actively participate, who is principled, who is patriotic, who can enter the economic circle, drive the question of economy, provide jobs, provide companies that can equally compete on the national and international platform. Namibia needs to industrialize, but who will drive the industrialization? Unless those cadres, if I am a good leader, if I was a good political leader, I must be able to be a good economic leader as well.
Yeah.
So my challenge is in the economy. So I'm going to jump on the bandwagon, and I'm going to, I hope I'll become as popular with economics as I made it out with politics. So that's what lays for Steve Biko.
So this whole thing of you leaving the office at the time when there's a lot of talks about new diplomats being appointed is just a pure coincidence. None is related to the other.
No, it's really not related to that. It's really not related to that in any way.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm going to take on economics,
yeah,
and I'm going to try and see how the concepts that we have been talking about in the political boardrooms can really be transformed and be used to benefit our people. We say youth empowerment.
Yes.
The government does not have the means to empower the youth. The means have to be created by the youth themselves in order to empower the others. So it's just a basic concept. No postings, no nothing. Steve walking out and jumping on the economic wagon
Yeah.
trying to be patriotic and see how we can serve his nation through that.
Councillor Booys, thank you very much for joining us and for, of course, sharing your journey for the past 10 years. We wish you the best for your new endeavors that you are going to hop on to after you leave office in a month's time or so.
Thank you very much. And for the populace who have been there behind me, indeed they are the wind. You know, the unaless like you, my brother Toivo. You know, not all the times did we agree on the perceptions and the views of things,
Yes.
but you guys are the wind of each and every leader. And I'm greatly happy that you guys could carry us through, that the nation could be there to support some of us. Where we have fallen short, that's where new leaders are coming in to take forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Appreciate it. That is Councillor Steve Biko Booys. He's the outgoing councillor of Okahandja Constituency in Okahandja region, speaking to us about his time in next month's